So now you've learned a few of the Australian animals and insects. I'm going to read you a story which has many of our native Australian animals in it. Now, ordinarily when we are working with young children, we'll often use a picture book as the beginning of learning. If a child has shown some interest in a particular topic, then we will go and find a picture book to support that learning. And then following that, we might extend that learning by engaging in a music and movement learning experience. So that's what I'm going to show you now. This is By the Billabong, written by Maureen Finn and Kate James. By the Billabong. A billabong in Australia is a body of water, a pond or a lake, a pool. The day was hot and the day was long. So I went for a walk by the Billabong to see what I could see. Down the bank, around the tree. A passel of possums drinking tea. That's what I could see, but none of them saw me. I went for a walk by the Billabong to see what I could see around the tree, over the rocks. A cluster of spiders knitting socks. A cluster of spiders knitting socks. A passel of possums drinking tea. That's what I could see, but none of them saw me. I went for a walk by the Billabong to see what I could see. Over the rocks, across the grass, a mob of emus ballet class. A mob of emus ballet class. A cluster of spiders knitting socks. A passel of possums drinking tea. That's what I could see. But none of them saw me. I went for a walk by the Billabong to see what I could see. Among the grass, among the reeds. A pack of dingoes sowing seeds. A pack of dingoes sowing seeds. A mob of emus ballet class. A cluster of spiders knitting socks. And a passel of possums drinking tea. That's what I could see. But none of them could see me. Oh, I went for the walk by the Billabong to see what I could see among the reeds into the shade. Oh, a wisdom of wombats on parade. A wisdom of wombats on parade. A pack of dingoes sowing seeds. A mob of emus ballet class. A cluster of spiders knitting socks. A passel of possums drinking tea. That's what I could see. But none of them saw me. I went for a walk by the Billabong to see what I could see into the shade along the track. A basque of crocs all glaring back towards the crocodiles. Eeks! Off she ran, Past the wombats on parade, between the dingoes sowing seeds, through the emu's ballet class, under the spiders knitting socks, beside the possums drinking tea, as quickly as could be. And they all came home with me. Good night. So there's a beautiful Australian children's book. There's a lot of rhyming in there. So of course rhyming in literacy learning and early literacy is important. It engages children. We start to understand the concept of rhyming. There's a lot of repetition. And the repetition allows the children to learn the story. So it gives them the opportunity to share what they know. So always pause in a book that has a lot of repetition like this one. Just pause to allow the children to finish those repetitive sentences. Now, there were many animals in this book that perhaps you haven't met before. There was the wombat. There were spiders. There were emus. Now, emus are our native Australian flightless bird. They don't fly. We saw some possums, and possums live in the trees. They are a marsupial that live in Australia in the trees, and they are nocturnal animals, so they just come out at night time. So all of this beautiful scientific learning for children as well, all embedded in a children's book. Then she went for a walk and she met the dingoes. The dingoes, these are native Australian dogs. They have been here for thousands and thousands of years, and they were companions for the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples long before colonisation of Australia. And then, of course, this last one here, which is one of our most popular animals, is called the wombat. He lives in a den. They give birth to live babies who then climb into their pouch and grow from there. But this is the wombat. So what we're going to do now is sing a song called The Wombat Wobble. And of course, a music and movement experience following on from a book, as I said, will extend children's learning. It will be exciting, and it's something that they will want to be a part of. So I'm going to finish this video, but the next one I come back with will be the Wombat Wobble.